The Gobi Desert, a name that whispers of immensity, it stretches across nations, a vast, ancient land. Its horizons seem to touch the very edge of the world. Here, silence is not merely an absence of sound. It is a presence, a profound, waiting stillness. Ages have carved this landscape, leaving it stark and breathtakingly raw. One feels an insignificance here, a humbling before such monumental scale and timelessness. The desert watches. This silence is almost absolute. The air itself seems to hold its breath, anticipating. Only the wind dares to speak in this great emptiness. It sighs over endless dunes of golden sand. It whispers secrets to the weathered ancient rocks. For much of the time, this is the Gobi's only voice, a lonely sound in an empty amphitheater under the vast sky. The sun beats down with an intense power. The shadows lengthen, painting the dunes. But the profound quiet endures through it all. Yet within this grand, silent theater, something stirs. A phenomenon both strange and utterly captivating. The desert, it seems, is not always quiet after all. From the very heart of its desolate, sun-baked beauty, a sound can emerge. It is a sound that does not seem to belong. A sound that breaks the solemn, ancient vow of silence. It is the desert finding its own extraordinary voice. A voice that has puzzled humankind for countless centuries. Imagine standing amidst these towering, sculpted dunes. The silence envelops you, a heavy, palpable cloak. Then a low hum begins, almost imperceptibly. Barely perceptible at first, a tremor in the still air. It grows, a vibration felt as much as it is heard. This is the first subtle hint of the desert's hidden song. An unsettling yet deeply fascinating intrusion upon the stillness. The Gobi is stirring from its slumber. It prepares to share one of its oldest, most enchanting mysteries with those who listen. This remarkable sound has earned many evocative names. Some call it the Song of the Sands, a poetic description. Others know it as the Booming Dunes, for its deeper resonances, or even the desert's drum, beating a rhythm of the earth. The sound itself is genuinely difficult to describe with mere words. It can be a gentle, resonant hum, quite delicate, almost like a distant cello played by an unseen, ethereal hand. It can also transform into a deep, sonorous roar, a powerful and undeniably primal utterance from the earth below. The song is not constant, it is an intermittent marvel. It requires a trigger, a specific disturbance to begin, a breath of strong wind sweeping across a dune's sharp crest. This sudden movement can start the incredible music, or perhaps an avalanche of sand, tons of it cascading. Down a steep, unstable slip face, it flows like golden water. Even the simple footsteps of a lone traveler can be enough. These disturbances awaken the slumbering voice of the sands. The desert responds to movement. It sings when its myriad grains are set in motion. Not every dune in the Gobi sings its strange song, and those that do not sing all of the time. This inherent unpredictability adds to the deep enchantment. The conditions must be absolutely just right for the concert. The sand must be perfectly, utterly dry to its core. The air still, or the wind blowing in a particular direction and speed. It is a unique performance that occurs on the desert's own terms. One must be patient and observant. One must be fortunate indeed to hear it unfold. For those fortunate enough to witness this natural phenomenon, the experience is truly unforgettable, etched in memory. A profound sense of awe washes over them completely. Perhaps a touch of primal fear, too, is understandable. It is as if the very soul of the desert is speaking, communicating something ancient, something profound from deep time, something that resonates beyond simple human understanding, a direct, tangible connection to the raw, untamed power of nature. The dunes are alive with sound. How can mere sand create such extraordinary, complex sounds? This intriguing question has captivated scientists for many generations. They have journeyed into these arid, remote lands, equipped with sensitive instruments and developing theories. They seek to unravel the desert's hidden acoustic secrets. The challenge is to explain this natural magic, to understand the precise physics behind the captivating song. The Gobi Desert serves as a vast natural laboratory for these dedicated researchers pursuing knowledge. The primary explanation lies in the sand grains themselves. These are not just any ordinary grains of sand. They must possess a range of specific, crucial qualities. They are typically well-rounded and highly polished by wind and time, remarkably uniform in size, often between 1/10 and 1/2 of a millimeter. Crucially, they must contain a high proportion of silica, And most importantly, they must be exceptionally dry. Even a small amount of moisture can effectively silence the dunes. These tiny particles are the desert's delicate vocal cords. When a large sheet of these special sands begins to slide down the steep lee side of a high dune, an avalanche occurs. The countless individual grains rub against each other vigorously. This widespread friction generates minute vibrations. Each tiny collision contributes its part to the whole, millions upon millions of grains moving in perfect unison. They create a coherent sound wave that begins to build. Think of it as a vast chorus of tiny, resonant voices, all singing the very same note together in harmony. This collective action is the key. The dune itself then acts as an enormous natural resonator. Much like the carefully crafted wooden body of a violin or a drum, it amplifies these subtle, initial vibrations significantly, transforming them into the powerful booms and persistent hums that can travel for considerable distances across the landscape. The frequency of the sound produced can vary quite noticeably, depending on the average size of the grains involved and also the speed of the cascading sand flow. Science reveals the mechanics, but the palpable wonder undoubtedly remains undiminished. Long before science offered its detailed explanations, people of the desert had their own compelling stories for these strange and often deeply unsettling sounds. Ancient travelers, like the famed Venetian explorer Marco Polo, he traversed the formidable Gobi in the 13th century. He wrote vividly of hearing spirits in the desert air, eerie voices that would call out to solitary wanderers, trying, he believed, to lead them astray from their true path. These were the mysterious whispers of the singing sands he encountered. Other legends speak of different, equally fascinating origins. Some believe the sounds were the mournful laments of buried warriors, their final cries echoing from beneath the sands, or perhaps the restless ghosts of ancient forgotten cities, swallowed whole by the ever-shifting encroaching dunes. Maybe they were the watchful guardians of hidden treasures, warning away those who would seek to disturb their sacred resting places. These tales, passed down carefully through generations, wove the singing sands into the very fabric of Gobi folklore. This rich tapestry of legend and dedicated scientific inquiry, it makes the Gobi singing sands a truly unique wonder. The mystery is not entirely dispelled by our understanding. Instead, science adds yet another layer to its enduring fascination. We can appreciate the intricate mechanics of sound production and still feel that ancient primal thrill when it occurs. The distinct sense of something magical, almost sacred, unfolding before us. The desert holds both empirical truth and profound poetic wonder within its grasp. The allure of the Gobi song remains undeniably potent today. It draws adventurers, dedicated scientists, and curious dreamers alike. They come to this vast, challenging emptiness from all corners, hoping to witness the rare phenomenon firsthand, to feel the strange vibrations beneath their own feet, to hear that incredible, truly otherworldly music for themselves. So let us take a moment to imagine, standing on a high dune as the sun gently sets. The immense silence of the desert surrounds us completely. And then softly at first, the desert begins to sing its timeless, haunting melody.